It has gone down something like this. The damage has been committed by three parties. First, there is we the people. While we are the least guilty in all of this mess, it is surely somewhat of our fault. Anyone using a credit card to buy something is agreeing that they will one day pay for it. Up front, the credit card company covers the expense and then expects payment from you so that the cycle may continue. When this happens on such a huge scale, and with more and more people neglecting to pay their dues, it begins to cause inflation. And in a situation like this, the system begins to fail as one part of the equation is not present. You are not truly giving your invested time and work in exchange for something, and it becomes a purely hypothetical transaction. Next, there are the banks. Now, a bank has a simple set of rules. They take your money and store it for later use. Over time, they have evolved into a for-profit business by way of transaction fees and loans, which is basically a ton of credit given to you at one time. This is sheer genius, paying money to deal with your money. I'm sure you can see where this is going. Banks have a very bad tendency to loan out all sorts of money that is never returned. Unfortunately, and this may come as a surprise to you, all this time they have been loaning out your money. Yes, they take the money you've deposited and give it to someone else. They can because of the third party. Like a prideful lion, the government watches over our money in the wild. The central and federal power that controls the dollar cannot seem to get rid of their old habits. While they wave the flag proudly, marching off to war and increasing the debt, our industry at home suffers. This nation was built by the principles of free market enterprise, which have no doubt produced fantastic displays of architecture and manpower. However, because of the grip the government has on the dollar, we are seeing a fall in its value. As it becomes more and more worthless, we continue to live beyond our means in a society that is unwilling to admit there is a problem. Now, within our civil union, the Federal Reserve System has perpetuated the degrading of the economy. The printing of money within these walls to cover loans and credit has devalued our dollar to a new low. We are simply not worth as much as we once were because a lot of the financial transactions made are hypothetical. They consist of numbers changing in bank computers that are then made physically real by the dollar bills you receive from an ATM. Our cowboy-like attitude of leaving a standard for our money, such as the gold standard that saw its end in the early 20th century, has crippled the economy. To inject capital into the system to cover expense is to say we have money when actually we do not. As such, we have been forced to borrow enormous and fairly ludicrous sums of money from other nations around the globe so that we can at least look like we have a healthy economy. In function, yes, but the debt we continue to accumulate shows no sign of stopping. The ship is sinking, and it certainly is ironic that the term bailout has floated around so much lately. As anyone on a sinking ship knows, bailing out the water does not plug the hole. It only delays the inevitable. Simply put, without a return to a currency that is backed by an accepted standard, we're going to continue on this downward spiral. The Founding Fathers would surely wonder about the trends that we follow. Why does it seem as if responsibility has been shoved aside in the name of supposed financial gain? our great presidents of old would not appreciate the failed oversight by the officials in charge, and these people should definitely be held accountable. In the end, though, the deciding factor shall be the ultimate variable in our economic system, the stock exchange.